Okay. You said you spent some time in East London, and I found out that you were friends with Jay Israel, who I consider a charlatan. Is that true or not?
I've never met Jay Israel in my life.
Okay. All right.
When I was in South Africa and in East London, by the way, if there are people who are watching me from East London, I am the man of God that gave a prophetic word that made me enemies with Jay Israel in 2017.
I see.
I am the first man of God that said Jay Israel was not a true man of God. He was fake from East London. Those that were there, and if they're there, they are going to attest to this word.
Jay Israel. Why did you say at that stage that Jay Israel is not a man of God?
When I entered into the city, there was a spirit of witchcraft in the atmosphere. And that was the church that people were going to. And I realized people came to me. More 95% of his leadership came to me. That was the time he was transitioning from Prophet Hubert Angel to Pastor Alf. So most of his leaders came to me and they came to inquire of the Lord. But because of the presence that I saw in the realms of the spirit, I came out and I began to speak. So it is very unfair for somebody to say I was friends with Jay Israel because I've never met him before.
No, someone told me that, but now you've established it. Obviously, that's why I said true or false. So
even when you ask him himself, he will tell you that Prophet Ian is one of the people that actually made a tough time for me in East London because I speak for the truth. I stand for the truth. The Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. One of Jay Israel's ex-girlfriends saw me in East London. We prayed for her, did deliverance on her. So I'm not friends with Jay Israel.
Good, because he's not somebody you should be friends with. He is a charlatan, a baby charlatan. But you are friends and you represent certain people. I saw this picture, and definitely you and I are not going to agree with a lot of the people that are in that crowd. And we can disagree. We can agree to disagree. I see people like Alf Lukau, like Chris Okafor. I see people like Apostle Johnson Suleiman, Joshua Eginla, TB Joshua, Pastor Chris. All these people that I mentioned, I consider them charlatans. Obviously, I see David Oyedepo there. I see the Ghanaian guy, Duncan Williams. I see the guy with the church in Abuja, Enenche. I don't know if that's him, Paul Enenche. So we can disagree to agree, but I see it's on your wall. So
it's actually
definitely
that picture is actually in my house and it's actually in my prayer room. That picture, I take some.
You consider all these people true men of God, each and every one of them.
I am not one to judge, but I'm one to take inspiration. Well, there are things that they haven't done that are well, and there are things that they've done to create a foundation in our Christendom. So based on that foundation, as a young man who is growing up in ministry, I have learned from them a couple of things, and I draw some inspiration from them on one area or the other. But like I always say, my foundation is God. So when I look at these people, what I see is that just like when I read a certain book, I draw inspiration from the book. I take somebody's weakness and make it my strength. I look at a lot of aspects in ministry. Ministry is done on different foundations. We are running an international ministry where people come in from outside the country and they come to our country, Zambia. So we are drawing a lot of inspiration from people who have done that before. Not to say that they are perfect, not to say that all of them might be true men of God, but for the sake of inspiration and knowledge and learning and training, I've put them up on the wall so that when I look at that picture, some of them I put them there as a prayer point to say, I don't want to be like this one. So it's it has a whole new.
So which one is a prayer point that you don't want to be like that?
No, Mr.
No, tell me which one is the prayer point that you don't want to be like.
That is my personal.
You have to be transparent. Anyway, let's go to the issue of the day.